Hi, Screamers! Welcome to Currently Screaming with Ashlyn, a podcast where people can come together to fangirl over anything and everything in the entertainment industry. So today we have a very special guest with us, who is none other than Ryan Ochoa.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm
Yeah,
so excited. Love the set. And it's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's great to meet you too. I've been looking forward to this. So, what do you do in the entertainment industry?
Wow, that is a big question.
Big question, I know.
I feel like my entire life I've really evolved in the industry. Most people know me from like my early days as I would say a child actor.
Right.
I was on Nickelodeon, I was on Disney. But so I guess I have to say that I started as an actor, but just over the years, I've tried to evolve in the industry because as a person, you want to grow in all aspects of your life, you know, personally, mentally, and especially with your career. So over the years, I've just tried to, you know, become a writer. I do music with my brothers, and so really, I wouldn't just say I'm like I do one thing. I kind of do everything. And my brothers and I always talk about that. We like to dabble in all parts of the industry. And with that, we've found so much happiness and joy doing different things, whether it's acting, music, and now a big part of my life is being behind the camera. I find so much passion just holding, you know, or camera operating or directing. So really, I like to say I dabble in all parts of the industry now.
Yeah, that's cool. I know that's what I like to do too. I think the entertainment industry is great, and I think it's great if you have multiple outlets to, you know, express that in. So before we go any further, a gift for you.
Oh my God. You come bearing gifts?
Yes, I come bearing gifts. This is for you. Do you know what it is?
Wait. Is this a Mike Wazowski?
Yeah. You're the first person who's gotten it.
No way.
Yeah,
this
so
is the Scream
canister. Yes, and it also doubles as a water bottle. So there's waters. Also, if you twist the top, twist the top.
Twist the top?
Yeah.
Where did you even find this?
I do bulk trips to Disneyland.
This is from Disney. Wait, does everybody get the same thing?
Yes.
So you own like all of them?
Yeah, yes, I actually went there recently, and I bought 10 more. 10's the limit you can buy at Disneyland. They don't let you buy more than 10.
Do they just always, I mean, we have to make sure they are always producing this then
No,
for you.
That's what I mentioned the last time, and I actually literally mentioned to them, I was like, can I get in contact with like your, like, I don't know, whoever like makes these, because they do say that they, like, if they don't get sold, they'll stop selling them. But I mean, I keep buying them, so maybe they'll always be there.
This is like the coolest thing ever. I don't know if you know this, and obviously, yeah, Monsters Inc. is Pixar, right? My brother is going to be so mad at me. My brother actually is Arlo in The Good Dinosaur. So
yeah, he is. I love that movie.
We love our Pixar movies.
Yeah.
Even though I hesitated for a second. Shout out to my brother Raymond.
The Good
This
Dinosaur
is so awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
He's so jealous. Actually, I'm gonna take a sip.
Yeah, so got a little sidetracked there, but you know,
that is
the water
so
bottle is
cool.
very important.
Okay, so because it's Screaming with Ashlyn.
Currently Screaming with Ashlyn. Yeah.
That's brilliant. And
Thank you.
Wait, you're a Disney fan.
I am a Disney fan.
Okay, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
This is like, what a great gimmick.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully they sponsor me one day.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
And after ours comes out. What is this button?
Oh, that's what turns, like, if you want to turn it off so that because to open it, to refill it, you have to open it, obviously, right? If you want to, like, be able to open it without screaming, you just, you press that button so that it doesn't scream.
Okay, that's really awesome.
Yeah. But, like, obviously I had to have it on.
The little things. It's the little things in life now for me, honestly. That's epic. We just went to the movies the other day, and we just find so much excitement in the new popcorn buckets.
Oh, that's actually really real.
This is what it reminds me of. It's like
so
how
real.
people are making things like this. We just saw the Jaws 50th anniversary.
Oh, cool.
And they have like the pails, but they also have like the barrels, the shark barrels.
Yeah.
And they're popcorn buckets, and that's what this reminds me of. anyway.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I know. I like Disney comes out with cute little trinkets, and the second I saw this before I started my podcast, I was like, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be.
That's so cool that you actually do a part of the interview too. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, anyway.
No, you're good. So
sorry, I can elaborate on this
that
and
forever.
talk about.
Guys, we should have an entire podcast. Should I make just a clip? Should I make like an entire podcast just on this water bottle?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe then Disney will sponsor me.
Maybe I should hold mine. Should I hold mine in my hand while we finish? Maybe that.
Yeah, you can do
a
it
little promo.
Little promo.
There we go.
Yeah. So okay, at the beginning of your career, you started in acting.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into acting?
I feel like I always have a different answer for this question, and it's funny because some people have come up to me and say, "Oh, I've seen one interview where you say this and one interview where you say this." I really would like to. I have to give a shout out to my mom because my mom and my dad, because they were a really big influence on me joining the industry. One, my dad actually owned a furniture store in San Diego. This is the story I always talk about because I didn't do anything before this happened. But my dad owned a furniture store in San Diego for, almost 2 decades. And my brothers and I grew up in the store. And I was probably about 5 or 6 years old, and my dad obviously had a lot of returning customers and clients, and one of them just so happened to be a manager, a San Diego local manager. And she came in, and my brothers and I were jumping on the beds. And obviously that's a good sign of a entertainer or somebody that's not shy.
That's true.
And so she approached my parents, and we're like, have you guys ever thought about putting them in the industry? And 5-year-old me came up and I want to be on TV.
Aww.
And she ended up sending us out. I mean, like on some local stuff. And I think one of my very first jobs that she sent me out was a print job.
Okay.
And I ended up getting it. So I had worked with a couple other 5-6-year-old kids, and we did this whole runway fashion show.
Oh,
and
that's so cute.
My mom still has a photo with me, and I don't remember it, but it's a great pic. And that was my first thing. And then after that, she sent me out on a couple auditions, and I think I got a couple callbacks, but nothing too crazy. And then we ended up moving closer to LA because we were in San Diego, and we moved to obviously we couldn't work with her anymore, so she referred us to some LA agents, and we did a couple meetings with them. And I've never said this ever in an interview, so I'm going to say this now, but I have to give a shout out to that manager. I don't remember her name.
Okay.
But she was really the biggest start, for my career, and really helped my parents kind of guide us in the right direction of where to start.
That's so cool.
But it was all thanks to just my dad's store and me, being this little outgoing little 5-year-old kid. And so I have to kind of say her. That's how I really started. And then
we have to find her.
We do have to find her, and hopefully one day I will meet her. But
I'm a fantastic internet stalker. Just give me any details about her, and I'll find her for you.
It's sad because I don't remember her. I was a little boy, but she is the one that first sent me and my brothers out on a couple of jobs. And then once we moved to LA, we'll just say LA, we moved a little bit closer to LA, and I went out on my first Greyhound it was my first audition. It was a commercial audition, and I booked a Greyhound commercial, and I got to ride around in the bus. And then after that, it was just like a snowball effect.
Cool.
And then,
the snowball effect is very good. Yeah. That's what everyone hopes for.
I really started in commercials. I did almost 30 national commercials. I did one that's, I always post TikToks in it, but it was a Dairy Queen commercial with Brian Stepanek from
that's so funny.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did a lot. I did a Gatorade commercial with Peyton Manning and Dwayne Wade and Kevin Garnett. That was a really fun one. But I did a lot of commercials, and then I actually did movies. And I like to talk about this. This is a really big part of, my upbringing in the industry, because most people know me from iCarly and Pair of Kings and the shows that I did, but I actually did feature films before that. And it's something that I always like to talk about, because some people don't know that I did movies before. I did The Perfect Game, A Christmas Carol with Robert Zemeckis and Jim Carrey.
That was my childhood movie.
Really?
Yes, I know. It's so I watched a lot of random TV when I was a kid because my dad was always at work. My mom didn't really watch TV, so like
Yeah.
once I got access to like Netflix Kids when I was like 9 years old,
Yeah.
I would just watch random stuff, and that is actually a movie I watched all the time. I know it was about baseball.
Yep.
Don't really remember like the premise that much, but I loved that movie.
It was
that was
about-
like one of my favorite movies actually.
It's one of those films. Well, to tell you the story, it was about the ragtag team from Monterrey, Mexico, who ended up overcoming odds and going on to win the Little League World Series.
Got it. That makes sense, yeah.
In the World Series, Angel Macias pitched the only perfect game for a Little League team that wasn't like, I don't think it was ever done again for like, I don't say something that's not true,
Yeah.
but it was like, I think like 30 to 50 years later, it wasn't, but it was in the World Series, he pitched a perfect game. And
That's
I
cool.
played Norberto, the catcher.
Yeah.
But that was a fun one. And I just posted a throwback photo like a couple weeks ago on Instagram.
I know, I saw that.
The comments that people talk about, like, this is a classic.
It is a classic.
I do a lot of like Comic Cons and meet and greets at car shows and stuff like all around the world now. And we just announced we're doing Rhode Island Comic Con in 2 months.
Cool.
So that's a really exciting one. But
I'm hopefully going to the New York one.
oh yeah, that's a
Yeah.
big one for Funko Pops. Me and my brothers
Yeah.
are collectors.
Oh, are you?
They have all the exclusives there.
That's fantastic.
That's a really fun one. But yeah, we do all the Comic Cons, but a big, like, a reoccurring film that is always brought up to me is The Perfect Game. Obviously, people come up and they want the iCarly merch and the Pair of Kings merch, but I always have the die-hard Perfect Game fans. Then when they talk about the movie, you can tell that they loved it.
Yeah.
And it was something that
so
they
good.
And if you're a baseball fan, I mean, you don't even have to be a baseball fan because that
Yeah.
movie's just really about following your dreams. That's really what those kids did. But again, if you're a baseball fan, I've met so many Little League players and even like my old high school, like the kids that played baseball in my high school, like they watched that when they were a kid. It's just one of those movies that will always live on because
Right.
it's just a very, very special story.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, it's just what a blessing to be able to say I was part of that movie, which, I mean, not to bore you, but
No, you're good.
my story with that film is one in a million because I was actually the only kid in that film on the main team, the Monterey Industrials. I was the only kid who actually originally, this is another special story too, but I was the only kid on the team that wasn't originally part of the team before, I mean, how do I explain this? Before we filmed the movie that everyone knows. Because the majority of the movie was actually already filmed before, months before in Mexico.
Oh.
And then they moved the film from Mexico to LA. And when they moved it, one of the kids dropped out. So they had to reshoot a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up getting in the movie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so not many people know that.
Would you say that's your favorite project that you've worked on, or do you have a
Oh,
different
my-
one? Do you have a different one? And then, like, why does it stand out? Like, which one would you say is your favorite?
That is a very hard question.
I know. It's like choosing a child.
I mean, I have to say I've been asked this question so many times and I can't answer it.
Yeah.
I really can't because I have so many memories and I feel like every job that I've done, I've taken something from it. Like that movie.
Right.
That was my first, what do they say? It was like my breakout movie that they always say.
Yeah.
That movie really was my first breakout because, I'm a big part of the movie. But I wouldn't say that's my, favorite project because then I went on to work with Jim Carrey and Robert Zemeckis right after that, like 5 months later.
Yeah.
And that was a almost $300 million budget Disney film.
Yeah, in the Christmas Carol, right?
Christmas Carol, and I got to work with my brother, Raymond. And then from that, we went right in and worked with Zemeckis and his Image Movers team on another Disney movie, and we did Mars Needs Moms.
Cool.
That was another one, and on that movie, we ended up becoming, friends with a lot of the crew. and one of them being Dave Angus, who is now one of my like best friends, and he actually just
fantastic.
directed my most recent project that I was going to tell you about.
Cool.
Called Second Chances.
Yeah.
And I was a 12 years old when I did A Christmas Carol in Mars with my, but in that movie we got to work with our other brother, Bobby. So
Cool.
now the three of us. So like, again, memories, friendships are built from that. Then I did iCarly, and right after, that was less than a year later. And on iCarly, I mean, that movie or that show really, I would say, really kickstarted my career because
that's a very, very popular show.
Yeah, I mean, it still airs to this day.
Yeah.
I travel all around the world because of iCarly, and people, just tell me the most insane stories about how they love Chuck or how that show changed their life. But then from that show, Disney brought me over because I was on iCarly, and I was on Pair of Kings. And I tell people to this day, if I could go back and redo any project, it would probably be Pair of Kings, because it was the most fun I've ever had. Like,
really?
Oh yeah, I mean, Pair of Kings was. I loved it so much. I did a fan film for it, with my own money, called Save the Island. And it took me about almost 2 years. Me and my brothers shot an entire fan film with Gino Seegers, who was on Pair of Kings, and then we ended up getting Mitchell Musso, to be in it with us. And it was an 11-minute fan film that we posted on YouTube that has, hundreds of thousands of views. But I did that with all my own money. I mean, basically, me and my brother paid for everything, and Gino. We paid for everything, and we got really, I wouldn't say anything in return except for a lot of happy, fans of the show that just love to see the nostalgia, kind of remade again. And that was because that was just a part of my childhood that I still miss. I do miss it. I miss the people I got to see every day. But then after that, I did Mostly Ghostly, which is how you and I kind of met. And that was my very first leading role.
Yeah, shout out to Dan.
Shout out to Dan.
Shout out to Dan, my neighbor.
And I always tell people to this day, Bella Thorne referred me for that movie to Dan and Yvonne. And that was my first leading role in a movie. So that movie will always be special to me because that was my first starring role. I'm in every scene of the movie.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I guess to answer your question, I've carried so much with me leading up to my most recent project, Second Chances, which I actually wrote, produced, and I don't really tell people this yet until I want them to watch the movie, but I actually am one of the leading actors in it too.
Oh, nice.
But I wrote it for my sister. I wrote it for my real life sister, Destiny, and it was just one of those projects that I hope one day I can emulate again of the feeling that I had making the movie, because I got to I handpicked every single actor in the movie and actress. I handpicked every cast member and every crew member to work on the set. So every single day stepping on the set was somebody that I've met over the years, worked with over the years, made
fantastic.
friendships over the years.
It's like a big family.
It was a giant family, and ironically, that's really what the movie is about, is family. And and I got to work with all of my actual family too. All three of my brothers and my sister obviously is in it. My older brother is not just a character in the film or has a role in the movie. He edited the film and was the visual effects supervisor.
Oh wow!
His animation company, we basically brought his company on as the exclusive animation team to work on the film. So they did all the graphics, all the animation, all the illustrations in it. Again, I told you about the director. The director was Dave Angus, who I met when I was 11 years old. So ultimately, that movie is like, I think it's up to I think my brother mentioned this to me a couple months ago.
Yeah.
That movie is really like the accumulation of my career up to this point. Gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. Because it's like I worked with Jason Earls, who I met when I was on Disney. Hayden Byerly was one of my friends that I met. He was on my favorite show at the time, The Fosters, who was worked with Jake, who was on the show with him, and I worked with Jake on The Perfect Game. And ultimately, every single relationship in that movie led up to how I got to make it now. And we're about to be done with the film finally, and then
Oh,
hopefully,
fantastic.
in the next couple months, the world will finally get to see it.
Oh, wait, I'm so excited. I
Yeah.
really want to see. Is it going to be in theaters?
I don't know. I can't really, give you that answer. I mean, as a producer, like would love to see your movie in the theaters,
theater.
of course. Like, I did a film called The Samuel Project. Oh, another movie I didn't talk about. That movie, in a quick little point, is the producer of that movie is the co-writer with me of Second Chances. His
cool.
name Steve Weinberger.
Nice.
Steve Mark. And Steve he co-wrote Second Chances with me, and I worked with him about 6 years before that on the Samuel Project. And so again, I think it might sound like corny or cheesy for me to say like, oh yeah, every project I kind of take something and like, do something else with it, but ultimately that's really what I'm doing. And I think it shows, and I haven't really like thought about this, maybe it's the truth, but on every project I build such good friendships, and almost to the point where I become family with these people. Like Gino from Pair of Kings. Gino's one of the leading role actors in Second Chances too. I've done now, I think we've done 4 projects together now since Pair of Kings.
Oh, cool.
Everybody that I work with, I feel like, what I was going to say, everybody I work with, I like want to work with them again.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the up and coming Adam Sandler,
Yeah.
And I think it's making my career exciting and still, fresh, because, who knows what is next, but, I already know that most likely my family, my actual family, my brothers, my sister, my parents will be part of it, and somebody that I know is going to be in it,
Yeah, that's so neat. That's so cool. I mean, community is, I feel like that's at the end of the day what all people long for, like no matter what like you do and for like work or anything, like I feel like community is super important. So that's so cool that you were able to bring like everyone that you've worked with together for this.
Yeah, and I always think about this, like, the industry and the movie industry is so like, it's strange because you work on a set for 3 months, or I mean our movie was about a month and a half, 2 months. Well, I'm talking about Second Chances. It was just most recent. It's a little under 2 months, and you work with these people every single day
For like 16 hours.
For 16 hours,
Yeah.
sometimes longer. I mean, I felt like it was 27 hours, and there wasn't even 27 hours in the day.
Yeah.
I was like sending out the scripts an hour before my call time,
That's real. That's so real.
But like when you work with these people all day, like think of it like, going to, work at a clothing store, your coworkers. You obviously, and now, my mom, my dad, my brothers, like we all have jobs, and hearing us talk about our coworkers that we work with, that you're with all day, every day, you want to enjoy, going to work.
Yeah, of course.
And so I feel like, making a movie is no different than working at a store or working at, a restaurant or anything. It's like you want to enjoy who you spend majority of your day with.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you're with these people more than you're with your family, more than you're with your, significant other.
Right.
You invest so much time. My point being is that you want to enjoy and you want to like going to work. And that's why I'm telling you how much fun I had making all of these movies. But now being so involved in being my own producer now, I feel like you have to set the tone and you have to bring these people to the set, and you have to really make the environment a healthy one every single day.
No, for sure.
Because really, being the producer of the film, you are the owner of the restaurant. You're the manager of the restaurant. Yeah. And I've never said that before, but you really are. And that's why I tell every single person that I work with, I'm like, hey, don't worry, this is not the last one. I'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
That's so cool. Yeah. I know when people, at least me, like, goodbyes are always so like, but like if it's going to be something that is recurring because, you know, you appreciate each other as like people. That's always just such a cool like thought, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you say that you have anyone that you look up to specifically and how they inspired your craft?
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's another one that I have so many different answers because there's so many like people that have influenced my, you know, my life, my mindset. One that I've never really actually said right off the bat is my older brother. My older brother, I've never actually gave him the credit, but he's just such a hardworking man, and he's just like so deserving of so much. And just seeing how he takes on everything, whether it's, you know, a little project that he does or a big, you know, movie, he just does it with a smile on his face, and I feel like that's what. And no complaints. That's another big one. And I feel like that's something that I want to take, you know, with me too, is, you know, just enjoy what you're doing and don't, you know, don't complain about it because we get to do what we love. That's, you know, and like, again, that's like just a small one. Obviously, my parents have had such a big influence on just who I am and the person that I am, and staying, you know, grounded and just and just like being so thankful for, you know, everything that, you know, every opportunity that's come my way. And then I would say, you know, on another level is Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, cool.
Dwayne is like, he's just bigger than life to me. And
have you met him?
I have met him. I've met him a couple times, and I actually got to work with him, you know, not in a movie, but I got to work with his brand Zoa.
Okay.
And then I did another, like it was a one-time gig, but I got to work with Project Rock with my family. He had but before I go back, but he had a certain line, that collection that came out, the Ohana line, and it
was that the
know,
skincare one?
No, oh no, that's Papa Tui. I'm giving him a shout out to all his brands.
Got it. My dad like
he better pay me for this one. Just kidding.
That's
I talk about him pretty much on every podcast interview that I do because he's somebody that there's one thing that he always says, and that's like, he's like, I'm already at the top. Now we build more mountain, or now we make more mountain.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not at the level that he is, I feel that where I am right now, that's my job to do, is, you know, make more mountain with the people that I can. For example, it's another reason I love filming music videos for artists that, you know, may not have the tools or the resources to do it. And I get to actually produce these videos for them for, you know, nothing. Because
so cool.
When my brothers and I started, we didn't have somebody helping us. Anyway, point is that The Rock talks about making more mountain and building more mountain. And I feel like that's something that I've taken into account the past like year or two now. But going back, there was a point in my life where I really didn't know what was next for me. I had just gotten out of a relationship. I was, you know, obviously everyone always says, you know, you're lost and you don't really know what's next. And I ended up just going on Instagram, and someone told me that you need an influence, you need somebody, and I stumbled across a video of The Rock, and he was in the gym, and he was working out, and he says, it doesn't matter as long as we put in the work with our own two hands, and I ended up finding the gym. And after that, I mean, I think my life really changed after when I started my fitness journey. And when you mentally get to focus on something and you don't have to worry about, you know, getting the next job or who, you know, why are you know, your ex is not texting you back, or why you're not, you know, getting a good grade in school. What you can focus on is going to the gym. Yeah. Waking up in the morning and going to the gym, because that is all on you. You control that, you know, decision. And The Rock was the person that did that for me. And after I found the gym, it's crazy to say that things just started to happen. The phone started to ring. People started to see you actually like working hard, because when you're working hard for yourself, like it's just wild that you're not focused on like, yeah, like why am I not working? Why am I not working? Because what you do have to focus on is, when am I going to work out next? When's that next workout coming in? And
that's like me
and then
with
the
my
rest
morning.
just kind of happened, you know? And I remember I did an interview a couple years ago, and I was like kind of getting deja vu right now, but I was talking, I'm just like, that's why right now people may ask me, what are you thinking about? I'm thinking about when I'm going to work out next.
Oh, it's so funny.
And I tell this to my girlfriend all the time. I'm just like, when are we going to work out next? Because, and even if we don't work out that day, as long as I'm thinking about it, I'm focused on something else that's not, you know, how am I going to, you know, get a job, or, you know, when am I going to edit the next video, or when, you know what I mean? And yeah, again, that might sound cheesy, but it's actually like, it's motivating. It's motivating because you are holding yourself accountable. And when you hold yourself accountable, like there's nothing like it, because you feel so fulfilled after you like walk into the gym. And for so many years, I had my own home gym, and it was just like, that made it even more, you know, like extra intense, because it's like, okay, the gym is outside, you know, it's right there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can do it later. My brother and I always talked about that. He's like, for me, it's harder. This was my brother talking. He's like, for me, it's harder because it's right there. I can go whenever I want.
Yeah.
But because it's there, now it's like, it's extra, you know, like mental, you know, it's like a mental game. Like, you know, I'm like talking about random things, but
no, you're good.
It's just like really made me who I am.
Yeah.
And I've felt so much like positivity from it. And yeah, and then you know, and I get to talk about it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. I love when people have something specific, very specific, that like not necessarily everyone would, you know, have, that is so helpful for them, you know. Hopefully, you know, I just moved in to a new apartment yesterday, so
nice. And congrats.
There's a gym.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, maybe I'll start that streak. I haven't been to the gym in a hot minute, so maybe.
Hey,
maybe.
I always say this: start now.
Start now.
It is never too late to start.
Yeah.
I say this to myself all the time, like, oh, yesterday was the first of the month. It's like, oh, it's the first of the month. Let's start now.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, my girlfriend knows this too. Like, I'm like a big advocate for, like, you know, numbers and
too.
Like, oh, like, you know, it has to be something special.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the gym, no,
any day.
Just any day. Every day is a good day. It doesn't matter, because when you walk out of the gym, it is there's nothing like it. It's such a, like, again, it's just like, you just feel so fulfilled, and like, you know, like you just like took care of your body. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we only have our body. You only got one body.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that's a big, going back to your question, is The Rock really did that for me.
That's
And
so cool.
I did get to tell him that.
That's so
in
neat.
person. I showed him a 1-minute video that I did in the gym. You know how people always say, Ryan, I'll end with this. People would say me like, Ryan, you're like my inspiration. Who's yours? So I did a 1-minute video in the gym talking about DJ, and I had like 20 to 30,000 people like spam him in the comments.
Oh my gosh.
He never saw it.
Oh.
And but then finally I met him in person.
Yeah.
On the set of Jungle Cruise.
Oh.
And I got to show him the video in person.
Oh, that's like
it was even better.
That's like the goal. That's the goal.
Better. And I got to tell him, and he followed me on Instagram right that moment. And that's like somebody that, you know, when you think of your inspiration, like how satisfying is that?
No,
you know?
that's
it was
incredible.
Really epic. It was an epic moment. And from that, like, he knows now. I've seen him a couple times, you know, since then, but he knows that how big of an impact he had on my life.
That's so cool. I know I've gotten to slightly dabble in that. Like, not, I've, like, slightly. And even the slightest bit has been so fantastic for me. I really hope I make it to, like, the goal is honestly, because you honestly just want to be, like, friends with that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're just kind of like, I like, and some people think it's kind of weird. They're like, but you don't actually know them. Well, you can say that about anyone. Like, you know what I mean?
True.
And, you know, if somebody is showing things that resonate with you, you know, I think it's worth the time.
Yeah, it's true. And it's like, now that you said about like being friends, truth is, like, I don't like to be friends with, you know, DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I can call him DJ.
DJ, because you guys are they're close like that. They're homies.
No, we're not homies.
You're not?
But what's really cool about him is that, like, the last time I saw him, like, he knows me. He said, "Hey, what's up, Brian?"
That's so cool.
And that's like, I can't even ask for anything more than that.
No. I mean, that's
like,
so cool.
At the end of the day, it could, you know, I never have to see him again. Just for him to know that he had a big influence on my life at one point. Mm-hmm. You know, that's all I can ask for.
Yeah.
So I don't even have to be friends with him.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying I wouldn't be.
Right.
But, you know, I think to aim for something like that is not really, you know, I feel like it's not really, like, important to even have to. But it's just cool knowing that even after all those years, it was 5 years later. I met, 5, we talked about the number.
5, and
it was 5. It was 5 years later. And yeah, it was like, wow, that long. But hey, every single day in the gym, I got to, like, kind of emulate that. So pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. Okay, let's dive into some more, like, your movie and show specific questions.
Okay.
First, let's see. I feel like this would be kind of interesting. Give me a walkthrough of, like, a day in a life on the show iCarly.
Wow. Just like from my day.
Your day.
My day in
yes,
life.
Your day.
Okay, well, I was in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I have to start with that. So yeah, I was in middle school. So I had to do school on set. Gosh, this is a long time ago. I'm thinking of this.
He's like, do I even remember that?
Yeah, like a day in the life. Okay, so this is like early, before 2010. I think 2008. Yeah, okay, so I was in middle school. Day in the life would be I would get to set. And this is also very similar to Pair of Kings too. Because I was on school on set. So this is like, I'm giving you a
double.
A double, is that a double whammy?
Double whammy.
A double whammy?
Yeah, sure.
It's very similar because I was in school on both shows. Get to set. Majority on both shows I would go to the schoolroom, and I was in school with Jeanette, and we would do school for about an hour or two in the morning with our studio teacher.
In the morning.
In the morning. And then maybe about 9:30, 10 o'clock-ish, they would call us to the set, and we would rehearse. I mean, it depends also. It kind of depends. I mean, for a TV show, you rehearse a couple days before you actually film the episode. I've never talked about this. I don't think ever.
Cool.
Yeah, but this is for both shows too. So I'm just going to get about since iCarly. Then, yeah, we would rehearse the entire episode in every set. And then after, we'd probably go back to school or whatever and do... once you go to the set, they try to, like, limit the chunks of, like, so I don't go back to school for 5 minutes. We'd go back, maybe they would do an hour on the set. We rehearse as much, and we'd go back to school. And then about after lunch-ish, they would have what they call a run-through.
Oh, right.
Yes, and then the run-through would basically be like you're watching the show. There's no stopping. The only thing that you do is the actors, for example, if we're in this set right here, we'd do the one scene, like let's say in the iCarly studio. I never worked in the iCarly studio, but
got it.
They do the iCarly studio, like the girls and Freddie. And then they would move. They would say, okay, and then they would migrate to the next set, which is right next door. Boom, scene starts. They do that scene.
Whoa.
cut, go to the next set. Then I would be in that scene with Jerry. We would do our thing. Then we'd go to the next. We'd literally run through the entire episode.
Whoa.
Beginning to end.
Yeah.
And then that's how it ends. Just like Pair of Kings, same thing, run through the entire show. And then after the run through, majority of the time we'd go back to school for like maybe another hour, and then we're done for the day.
Oh, so how many hours is the entire day mostly for?
Oh, it's probably full day, like 10. Oh, well, going back to it, when you're in school, I don't know exactly the hours, but it's depending on your age.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
You can start like kids can only work like 6 hours or something.
Yeah.
Or 4 hours. Babies I think can work like 2 hours or something like that. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But like when I was on like doing the perfect game and leading up to iCarly, I think I could work like 9 hours or 9.5.
Still a big day for a middle school kid.
Yes. But you do 3 hours every day in school.
Right.
So you can only be on the set for 6.
Yeah.
It's funny. I feel like I've seen interviews, but like talking about this, but maybe not. But then I remember being on Pair of Kings once I turned 16, I think or 15 or 16. It was either season 2 or 3. I hit the next age where I can now work 10 and a half. So all the producers are like, another hour with him, you know? So now they can write me more because then I can be on set for a little bit longer every day.
Yeah.
So I think at 15 or 16, you get to work 10 and a half hours.
Got it.
Until you're 18, and then you get to work as long as they want.
Yeah.
You can. That's when I did Mostly Ghostly. I think I was telling you before the show that when I did that, it was my first movie as an adult where I got I was working 15 hours, I think, because I'm in every scene of the movie.
Right.
They had no time to let me go do 3 hours in school.
In school.
In school, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why this is maybe you don't hear this much, but some kids in the industry get emancipated, at like 16 or 17, so they can work as a legal adult.
Oh, I haven't heard of that. That makes sense though.
Yeah.
Do a lot of people do that? Do a lot of actors do that?
I mean, when I was on Disney, I don't really remember it being like too common. I think it was after I was on Pair of Kings, then like my friends started to get, they test out is what happens. It's like 16, 17, they start working. And I did test out when I was, I think 16. I think it was in the summer going into my senior year.
Got it.
And I didn't use it. I didn't get, I maybe didn't get a job for, I think I've talked about openly. I didn't work for an entire year. And then Mostly Ghostly called. And that's when I ended up doing Mostly Ghostly. And I actually did get to, maybe I've never talked about this, but I did get to work as a legal adult on Mostly Ghostly. But I wasn't 18 yet.
But you weren't 18, that's cool.
But I was legal 18.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never talked about that.
Oh,
you
cool.
got the exclusive right there.
The exclusive.
Yeah, I worked as a legal adult on Mostly Ghostly. Cool. Have you met my ghoul friend?
So between Pair of Kings and iCarly, which one do you get noticed for the most, or just in general? What do fans usually bring up? Which one is more common, popular for you specifically?
Wow, it's a tough one. I feel like it really depends on where I am. Recently, I went to the Santa Monica Pier and I got recognized from Pair of Kings the whole night. But like I was telling you, I do all of these Comic Cons and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel that iCarly is like the most known. People know iCarly. Yeah. But with that being said, if somebody watched Pair of Kings, it's like Pair of Kings. For example, I was in Las Vegas, a week ago, and just walking around with my family, and pretty much the whole night, but it was different groups, but guys, I was coming out of the bathroom one of the times, and a group of guys are, oh my gosh, Pair of Kings. They know,
they know.
Know. But overall, I would probably say iCarly is the most boom, which is wild to me. Even though when you said like, oh, between iCarly and Pair of Kings, which what I wanted to say, it wasn't a big gap. I went right, like literally Disney called me while I was on iCarly.
Right. Yeah.
But I wasn't under contract with Nickelodeon.
Got it.
So Disney basically locked me in, is
Got
what
it.
we like to say.
Yeah.
But even though I was in every single episode produced of Pair of Kings, iCarly still airs to this day.
That's
and
true.
I think that is the difference
Got it.
between them right now is, you could go home right now and turn on iCarly. It's in syndication. And so, yeah, I mean, I get comments like, oh my gosh, I go on TikTok live, every day, and at least one or two people every single day. Oh my gosh, I'm watching you on iCarly right now.
Right now.
It's different. Pair of Kings is not, it's on Disney Plus.
Right.
But there's still, no matter what, like people talk about streaming, it's still, I mean, probably streaming is the biggest thing now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But there's nothing like still, turning on, cable and watching iCarly. And, for people our age, our generation, I still hear it. They're like, there was nothing like watching iCarly or Pair of Kings because we had to wait a week to watch it.
Right.
So what did we do as a kid? I mean, and I'm telling you of how I lived because these are the shows. I was a kid. I tell people everywhere I go, I was a kid on the shows that we were watching.
Yeah.
Like we were making
that's
these
such an
shows
interesting perspective.
for kids my age. For
yeah,
me.
For you.
I wasn't a grown man
That's true.
making a show for, teenagers. I was literally 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old on these shows.
You were the audience.
I was the audience.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly how to say it. Yes. I was the audience. So what did we do? I would go, I mean, the producers of and Disney, the producers of Pair of Kings, they literally would make sure every Monday that I was done with work or in school, whichever one, I had to be done by like 4:30 so I could make it home by 5 to watch the new episode because I was the audience.
Yeah.
It was my favorite show. So I would go home, watch the new episode, but then guess what? We had to wait a week to watch the next one.
Right.
So what did we do the other 6 days? Go home and watch the same episode over and over. And what did that do for our generation? It just like, it implanted it into our brains.
Yeah.
And that's why I hear this all the time in public that they're like, I just watched iCarly every single day. And that's something that we don't really get to see now with these new shows. Because they just come out with 8 to 20 episodes. You watch them all the way through and then you're on to the next.
Right.
So for me, like I had to go home and watch the same episode every single day until for another week. And the beauty of that was for these networks, they had a year that they got to stretch these series or these seasons across, But that's why I'm really excited for Stranger Things because it's been like 3 years in the making for season 5.
So excited for.
I am excited for that one, but
yeah, it's gonna be good.
But hey, but again, Netflix is they're doing it a different style, but similar to the old days.
Yeah,
they're stretching season 5 over 3 volumes.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's.
Yeah,
so we still have, technically 2 months that we get to kind of sit and wait for the next episode for those shows, for season 5. But imagine 27 episodes, 30, Wizards, 30 episodes. You had to wait a week to watch 30 episodes, but then they had the special holidays. My point being is that, they stretch these series over the span of a year or two. And we had to wait for these shows, and I think ultimately it's made these shows live on for forever.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm a lot older than 12 years old now, and people still recognize me from iCarly, and I think that's the point of this is that it was over half my life ago that I was working with Jerry Trainer. and making this, slapstick comedy of slapping him in the face and,
Yeah.
Squirting him with a suspicious liquid, and it still lives on. And it's wild. It's really special to me because, again, I was just a kid that was doing what I love, and now it's like lived on for millions of people, it's really cool. And it's wild to me. But I wouldn't take it back for the world. I would do it all over again.
That's good. That's what we want to hear for sure. That means because we want to make sure that the actors, had a good time too.
Oh my gosh.
I could tell you, like, yeah.
It was really cool. I'll tell you one moment. A couple years ago, my brother was on the lot that I think it was pretty close to here. And he was auditioning for like an old Nickelodeon show. And I took him to the set because I knew that they were filming something that Jerry Trainer was working on there. So I took him to see him. Maybe I would see Jerry there. And it's just wild, but I was far away, like very far from him. And I saw them filming again, we were across the lot. And I could, you can point out Jerry Trainer anywhere, he's very tall. And I just remember, I'll never forget this, but he like somehow looked my way and he was looking far down and he just said, Chuck! And then he yelled my name across the lot.
That's so funny.
And it just shows that, and I hadn't seen him this was way after Pair of Kings.
Right,
so this was probably over 5 to 7 years later.
Yeah.
And he still, like remembered me. So I'm just waiting for the day, and I haven't seen him in a long time since then. I'm waiting for the day that we reunite because it'll just be really cool for me now being, definitely a grown man, being able to tell him how much of an like impact he had on this little, I wasn't even a teenager yet when I first met him. But what the TV that we made, is just, it's wild to me, like traveling the world now and hearing how much people love Chuck and Spencer. Yeah. Because it was like, it's something that, it'll carry with me for the rest of my life.
Right, of course.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's switch gears over to your little, as you were saying, you are a man of many traits in the entertainment industry. Your music career, the Ochoa Boys, how did that even come up? Like, how did you and your brothers decide we're going to do this? We're going to, was there like a specific moment, conversation, or was it kind of just something you'd all had been talking about for a while?
Okay, there's a great question. I love talking about this in our music. I would say it's two parts. One, when you're on Disney, obviously, and especially during the time that I was on it, every single actor, every Disney kid, every Disney girl, they all make music too.
Right.
And Disney, I won't say the name, I obviously know a lot of people know, but Disney had their own record label at the time. And that label came to every single Disney actor to say, hey, you want to do music? And for me, going back to another influence of mine is Leonardo DiCaprio. The reason I bring him up is, in my mind as a 15, 16-year-old was, no, I want to be an actor. Yeah. Like, I want to be an actor. I want to have longevity in this industry. I want to make movies. I want to make shows that, I'll get nominated for, people remember me for. And on the flip side, I think that's also why I took the, so much, I had so much care for every role that I was in, especially Chuck and Lanny at the time, because that was the time that I would have tried to do music too on the side. But I was so focused on the work, not, sidetracking to starting another career. Yeah. Point being is, Disney came to me and I wasn't an artist. I wasn't a musician. I don't play the guitar. I don't play the piano. That was my brother, one of my brothers. That's him. He's the musically inclined person of the family. He's the one that got the, the music gene and the music gift. So yeah, it wasn't an option for me when I was on the show. It was strictly about making the best work in front of the camera. Right. And then after it was actually not after, it was during the last season of the show, my brothers and I, we still to this day are very close. Yeah. most people know if they follow me still.
Yeah.
We're still a very tight-knit family, and we wanted to do something together. Being that it was a show or a movie, we wanted to do something together. So we actually wrote a TV show, and we pitched it to Disney and Nickelodeon after. And the show was like really, really, really funny. My younger brother, Raymond, actually at the time, probably still to this day, he was maybe 10 years old or 11 years old. He was the youngest kid to pitch a show to both networks.
Oh, wow.
And when we walked in, we didn't walk in with a manager. We didn't walk in with our dad or our mom. We walked in as a 18-year-old. My brother, I think my older brother was 19. I was 16. My other brother was 12, and my other brother was 9 or 10. We were the youngest kids. So picture us, these four boys, walking into two of the biggest kid networks with a script. And the networks loved it. Both of our meetings lasted over 2 hours.
Really?
We had the head executives of both networks like just blown away.
Wow. That's the goal right there. That's the goal.
We say to this day, and we've been told after, the reason the shows didn't go were because they couldn't give that kind of power to these kids. That's the truth, But the show was amazing. We gave it to like some other big, like James Hong, who was in Big Trouble in Little China. He was on Pair of Kings. He was on all the Disney shows, but he's still in big movies. He already signed on to one of our roles if we got picked up because he loved the script. Yeah, we had our whole cast like already ready.
You had everything. That's so cool.
At the time when we pitched it to Disney, we had the Disney girl that was already going to do it if the show went. We had everything, all the ducks in a row already.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't give the power to us. That point being, that's another thing I've never talked about. So you got that exclusive too. But again, the reason I bring it up is because these are pivotal moments in my life now.
Right.
That show not getting picked up really kickstarted our music because we wanted to do something together. And we felt like, okay, well, if these networks aren't going to give us the power or they're not going to believe in us, we need to show people that we believe in ourselves.
Yeah.
And we felt like music was something that we actually, going back to the gym, was something that we could pave our own way and just do it without being told what to do or that you guys are good or not. You know, it was like, we'll just do it and people will like it.
Exactly. I know that's like me
it
with
was
this
that
podcast.
kind of mindset.
Yeah.
And not being like, self-centered at all.
No, for sure.
That's but not the point. The point is that like we were gonna do it and we were not gonna be told no.
No. Yeah, no,
and,
I like that mindset.
And so what happened was our dad actually is a DJ now, and he still is DJ Ziggy Bass. When he was like my age or even younger than me, he was a DJ, and so he had a lot of like, I wouldn't say like music connects, but he had a lot of people that made music that like knew what to do, how to do it, and most of all the programs of what we needed to start. So he reached out to particularly one of his friends who he used to work with, like some big rappers back in the day. And so his friend actually kind of gave him all the tools, all the programs, what we needed, the certain mics. And again, we were green as can be. We didn't know what to start. We just knew that these four kids wanted to be in a group, not a boy band.
Not in a group.
People call us a boy band to this day. But we went out and we just started making music at home with our dad. Yeah. We built our own like in-house sound booth. Oh, shoot. Probably like the size of that whole corner. And we made our tracks in our house. And then at my 16th birthday party, we performed our first song.
That's so special.
I don't know how else to say this other than we sucked. We were not good on stage. That is one thing. But what we did have was the heart. And there was a music producer there at my party. And he was like, I have to say, the stage show needs work, but the beats were cool and the raps were cool. And we were like, hey, we did it ourselves. And my brother wrote the song. And he kind of ended up telling us, hey, well, make a couple more songs. And then he's like, I'm going to send you guys out and I'm going to get you guys some stage shows. And with real crowds.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. We made like 5 songs and we did our own little like choreography.
Aw.
And then one thing led to the next, but we ended up at our like second or third stage show.
Yeah.
We ended up meeting a boy band at the time and their manager, and they were traveling all over. And we kind of tag teamed with them, and they sent us out because we weren't really in competition with them. They were a boy band. We were like a rap group is what we considered. And they brought us on to all their shows. They headlined and we like really opened for them.
Cool.
And we brought in crowds and crowds. And then we did one more Christmas show at a mall. And we invited, we did one show right before this Christmas show. And this is a pivotal part of the Ochoa Boys because this is where our music career shifted. We did one show and it was terrible. Like our stage show was bad. We watched videos back and we're like, the energy is there. The beats are good. The flow is decent, but we need to fix our stage show. Like we don't necessarily need to dance, but we need some like stage direction.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we knew that if we were to become a dance group and have some dancing, in our shows, then we wanted the best. And at the time, Shane Sparks was our favorite choreographer. He had all the top dances on So You Think You Can Dance, on America's Best Dance Crew. And Shane ended up somehow, my mom's friend was doing a private lesson with him. Oh. She stopped off at our house one day and she's like, and we're like, what are you going to LA for? And she's like, oh, I'm going to do, don't tell my daughter, but I'm going to do private lessons. I'm like, what kind of private? She's like, oh, I'm dancing. We're like, what the heck? Yeah. She's like, we're like, who are you working with? She's like, Shane Sparks. And we're like, really? What the heck? No way. And she's like, wait, do you know him? We're like, yeah, like we've been trying to like get in contact with him.
That's the guy.
We're like, can you please like tell him that there's a group that's looking to get in contact with him? So she gave Shane my dad's number. Shane called my dad the next day and was like, hey, I heard, and we're like, and this is a total random fact, but when I was on Pair of Kings, I actually moved into Shane's apartment.
What?
This is crazy. Yeah, super random. Nobody knows that.
That's crazy.
And so we told him this, and we're like, all of like these signs have like led us to you, and you are our favorite choreographer. And I don't even know how it happened, but now me and my brothers are doing music, and we want you to choreograph us. Like if we're going to have any sort of dancing or stage direction or whatever it is, we want you to be that guy for us. Mm-hmm. So we're like, hey, we have a show at a mall next week or whenever it was. And he came. The show was awful. Again, like we watched these shows and we're just like, what were we doing? But what we did have was fans. Yeah. And, our Ochoanizers, as we like to call it, they showed up to the point where the mall kicked us out. Oh. Yeah, we shut down the mall. They basically shut down the show. We did a couple songs, and then after we were doing a meet and greet, and they were just like crazy hordes of people. And what happened is the people that did show up were drawing such a crowd that other people were now at the visiting the mall. Point being is Shane showed up late. He didn't see our show, but what he did see was that they were literally escorting us out of the mall. Yeah. So we had to leave, and he was like, who are these kids? Yeah. It was that type of attitude. Mm-hmm. So the point was that it was a great first impression to him. So he's like, hey guys, next week, right after the new year, because it was a Christmas show right after the new year. Let's start fresh and let's get in the studio. Let's get in the rehearsal room. So we rehearsed every single one of our songs with him that we had, and redid all of our stage shows to the point where there was just like, it was fun and it was lit and it was, like there was just good direction. And we started performing, and just now it made sense. Now it was looking good, and now we felt like, okay, now we can do this. And then Shane ended up he was working with, and this is the second part of the Ochoa Boys right here, which is still leads up to now. So Shane was part one. Part two is Shane was working with this girl group, and he was like, hey, long story short, he's like, I would love for you to help them out, like maybe do a song with them. And we're like, well, we don't want to do a song with them. Like, we got our own thing going,
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I know, like, you guys don't need them, but they are working with a producer that's really good. And he's like, I think it would be nice for you guys, even if you don't like it, just to have the experience of what it feels like to be in an actual real music studio, not just at your house, but a real studio with a real producer, and just kind of get your feet wet in that world. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But he's like, he's awesome, and I think you guys will really vibe. And we did. Perfect. We made an awesome song with these girls, but not just that. We ended up making every single Ochoa Boy song with Ness, is his name. And Ness still makes all of our music to this day with us. Cool. We've now, going back to like the very beginning of our podcast, every person that we work with, we just build a family with. Right, yeah. And it's not about like starting something new with different people, but Ness believed in us. We showed him all of our songs that we had, and he's like, oh, these are cool. And he's like, now let's make some radio worthy, tracks. And we started making some, what we actually called performance songs with him. And those are all of the early Ochoa Boys, all of the music videos that we did. And then after we did all the performance songs and really built our like stage presence as a group, because we were getting the shows, we were performing live. I was on Disney, so people wanted, us to show up, and we were getting the shows. But now it was like, okay, now we have the fans, and now we have that, but now let's like make an album. So then we took our time. We took like 2 years off almost, and just really got in, and we did our first debut album, R-Type, which came out in 2020. And then the pandemic hit. So then really just like during that was like, that whole year was just promoting the album like on live and stuff. Yeah. And then after that, we started making some new music. And then past like 2 years, I was focused on Second Chances and doing that movie. Ness actually did, he was not only in the movie too, but he like plays a producer in the movie. Got it. But he and my brothers and we actually did the theme song of Second Chances. It's called Therapy. So we still incorporated our music in the film. But now that all of that's done, the movie's almost done now, we've now like switched gears again, and now we're like getting back, and we just got something really cool happen with us on the music side too. Another producer just reached out to us, so we're actually working with him with Ness. Nice. And so I would say in the next like couple months, expect like a new like revival of the Ochoa Boys. Okay. Because we're like, I feel like the past 5 years have like really shaped us in a whole new way. From just as men. We're not really just the Ochoa Boys anymore. Now we're like men. The Ochoa men. And the Ochoa men. And I think that's going to really like, I'm excited for people to see and hear the new music, because I'm excited. We're like different, like in a very like cool, mature, grown up way. And I'm very excited, but also interested to see how that reflects into the music that we make, because we've had a lot happen to us over the years, and it's going to be cool to like, because like they always say, like to make good music, you need to not just live life, but you need to experience stuff. we've all gone through those trials and tribulations and the ups and downs of life the past couple years, and
Yeah.
it's going to be really cool to put that in music. And even our producer, like, sharing our stories with him, he's like, I think it's time now to make some new stuff. So
Yeah.
pretty exciting on the
yeah,
music
you've got
side.
some cool. Yeah.
But that's our music journey.
yeah, with your you have some pretty cool stuff coming up with your like TV and music journey.
Yeah.
All the and producer, all of the creative outlets.
That's a whole nother topic too, is
Yeah.
that, you know, I really spend my time aside of that is, you know, filming, you know, music videos and stuff, and
Yeah, that's so
directing videos. I really find a lot of joy in that. And that's something, again, going back, it's something that I can do now, and I really can control. You know, there's artists making music every day, and that they need visuals.
Yeah.
And I want to provide those visuals for
Yeah.
them, you know?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I've loved having you on today. This has been a great chat. I've loved hearing, you know, your whole story. It's very interesting. Since you started as a kid, there's like a lot of different aspects to go over, and I like how you've evolved into so many different creative outlets. That's so cool.
And still evolving.
Still evolving.
I don't even think I've, you know, touched the threshold of you know, where I actually can be, because I really want to, like, I know it sounds corny, but I want to, like, change the world. And I feel like,
That's
you
not
know,
corny at all.
you know, I can't do it alone, but I have an amazing team behind me. I have an amazing family. I have the most unbelievable girlfriend, and everybody around me and my family, like, we've surrounded ourselves. I think up to this point is, who are we bringing to the next level of our lives with? And yeah, I'm really excited for the future, and what now 2026 is right around the corner has to offer.
I know, me too.
Yeah, I gotta, you know, say my quote: dream, wish, believe. Those 3 words have changed my life, and ever since I've found my motto in my life, I think, you know, my Ryanators and my family. I mean, my mom got it tattooed on her back.
Oh, really?
Yep. She has dream, wish, believe tattooed in Chinese on the back.
Yeah.
And
I have my life quote on my arm tattooed.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
I think it's so, like, important to do that.
Yeah.
And it's just a reminder of, you know, who you are and what you have to offer to the world.
Exactly.
And and ever since I've really found my life quote that I can share to everybody, those 3 words have really helped me just, like, kind of navigate, you know, the next thing in my life. Yeah.
Well, it was great talking to you. Hopefully we see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and comment your favorite moment below. Check out my social media pages at Currently Screaming with Ashlyn. If you'd like to be a guest on my show, please visit my website. Stay screaming.